Hello, my name is Barry Graham, and the objective of this session is to explain how to work out surface area of a square and the perimeter of the square. So the first task that we're going to do, we're going to draw ourselves a square. The aim is to draw the square with 4 equal sides. Apologies that the lines aren't quite straight. So here we have a square. This square, if we look, is showing 4 equal sides. The purpose of what we are trying to achieve when we are talking about finding the square meterage or surface area of the square is the area inside the square, which I've just highlighted as a squiggle. What we're trying to achieve is how much of that area we need to fill. So for example, if you were wanting to turf a new lawn, you might need to find out how much turf you're going to require to fill within the middle of the square. You may even be wanting to recarpet a house, and for example, if it's a bedroom, you need to find out how much carpet will be required to fill in the middle of the square. So we'll just remove the area here. Now, before we can find out the square meterage, what we need to ascertain is the actual measurement of the square. So we've either used a tape measure or a measuring wheel to produce our measurements. So in the case of the square, we're going to state that we've done our measurements, and the measurements indicate that the width of the square or the base is 8 meters, and the length of the square is also deemed as 8 meters. Now we've done our measurements, so now the next stage is to find out the square meterage or surface area that we need to fill. It's length times the width. So we know the length is 8 meters times 8 meters equals 64. So it's 64 m2, which represents meter squared, or it can also be described as square meters. So just to perform, or to show, square meterage, what I'm going to do, I'm going to break down the square. So I'm going to put a line down the middle and break it through. So what we're looking for is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do the same again. So we have 1 column, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just to prove that there's 8, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll just get rid of those. So we know we have 8 times 8 is 64. So inside that square we now have 64 square meters, or 64 squares. Right, so the next process is we're going to make this into a little project. So what I'd like to do, I'm going to state inside the square, we mentioned about carpeting a bedroom or turfing a lawn. We're going to state that this area where we've got a little bit of greenery starting to appear is going to be our lawned area that we're going to fill within the square. So what we will do, we're going to state for this 64 meters squared of turf. Right, I discussed prior to the introduction the perimeter of the square. Now the perimeter, I'm just going to write perimeter. The perimeter is the area deemed, the area around our lawn. So as you can see, that is the perimeter. Now, if we've been making a lawn, we might want to protect that lawn by constructing a fence. So we're not wanting to find out what is actually inside the square, we're wanting to see what is the length of fencing that we will need to go around the perimeter. So what we continue to do is, we know there's 8 meters the width, we know the length is 8 meters, and it will also be the same at the bottom of the square, 8 meters, and also the width here will be 8 meters. So to perform a calculation to find the perimeter, it is 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. So 4 8s. So we add them all together, and that gives us a total of 32 meters. So we require 32 meters of fencing panel in length to go around our square. We require 64 meter squared of turf to turf our new lawn area with inside the square. I hope you have found this exercise useful in allowing you to work out the surface area of a square and the perimeter. Thank you for listening.